All right, guys, welcome. Hi, Hidden. How are you?
Good evening. I'm doing well. Yourself?
Good. So I'm going to give it a few seconds before I get started. There is, I gave Warfi a little bit of a nudge, and I'm gonna kind of take a little bit of a chance to talk about Warfi stuff because I'll be using the start of this video to kind of be a little bit of an update for the Warfi people that keep asking the same questions in the Discord. And I've gotten kind of frustrated with some of them, and I apologize to them all because my comments in the chat have probably gotten a little bit short just because it's a lot of repetition. And I get that's usually part of the job, but I don't get paid for this job. So so I want to try and stop some of the repetition, hopefully get us on to the same playing field so that we can all hopefully work towards a common goal of hopefully finding a way for us all to ROI in Warfi, because it doesn't look great, and it hasn't looked great for a while. And I've talked about this publicly and in the Discord, but we've got some options to make things good. Whoa, Murdoch. What the hee-haw, where have you been? That is an old name I have not seen on a screen anywhere in a long time. But anyways, hi, how are you? So, and especially with crypto kind of coming sort of maybe back, especially Murdoch being kind of a defining factor of crypto coming back. Hey, Funny Toro. Sup, Latep, Gigio, Paul, Murdoch, and Funny Toro. So anybody who is coming from Warfi, please don't hesitate putting some questions down below. I'll try and cover sort of the whole thing, hopefully make it very clear in a very short period of time what is going on and where we're at with the BS that's gone on there. And hopefully what the opportunity is for us, because the problem is everybody in there is really focused on these tickets, and unfortunately we don't have access to data. So I'm just going to do I'm going to try and hit all the points. So I apologize, guys, if I miss anything, but this will be something I'll be posting in the Discord quite frequently as people ask the same question over and over again. We have asked people to open tickets. The tickets are full. They're going to be full for a while. It takes me a long time to go through the tickets because I have to go through 2 blockchains. Like, I think I'm up to about 12 different wallets those guys used to move money around, including the fact that there's some weird ones that come out of nowhere. And it's, sorry, guys, I'm going to turn off my trade notifications. I am in a trade, and I will show you guys later. So there is 2 blockchains, several wallets. There's also the fact that even at one point, I and a few other of us went and airdropped stuff to people. So there was money flowing into our wallets, which I made sure it was a separate wallet, but there was money flowing into our wallets. And then we did manual airdrops for a period of time when there was not a contract to pull from and stuff. Turo, that's not a bad thought. Hey, Marcelo. That's not a horrible thought. My issue with that is just we still have to comb the data, but you know what? That's a good point, which may be and I don't know why we never thought of that. I don't know why nobody in the Discord pushed that, but at least then the problem is most people don't know how to collect the data. So that's probably the worst thing is we're just going to get a carte blanche of a whole bunch of BS through the Google Forms, but it may make it something we can go through in a little less time. I'm going to ponder that. So thank you for that. But anyways, it's taking me a lot of manual labor. And for a week or for a month, probably, I was working 8 hours a day at those tickets. And it was just, I wasn't getting rid of enough of them. And I felt like it was premature because we hadn't even started the recovery process. So we had no money to give people anyways. So why was I spending all this time on this? And again, I don't think we made it clear in the Discord as to why I shifted and why I stopped doing the tickets. So I'm not blaming everybody for having the non-understanding, but we have tried to answer them inside the Discord, and I don't think people are hearing or listening or whatever. So regardless of which, the process of collecting this information, because there's no contract we can go to like normal programming, they made such a mess of this, going from Binance chain to Polygon chain, having several different contracts they were using over a long period of time. There's maybe some programmer that can magically whiz all this together and find me the accurate data, but again, nobody's putting in the time to do that. So right now it's me trying to collect all the data, try and make sure it's accurate, because I don't want people getting more money than they deserve, and I also don't want people getting less money than they deserve. And half the time I'm in tickets and people are like, I have no clue. So I'm then now going through 20 minutes to an hour per ticket trying to find their information for them because I know how to comb the blockchain. And I'm maybe not as efficient as other people. So that's part one of the problem is we have all this data we need to collect to try and find out who actually really is owed what. We have the cloned website, which helps us a little bit, but it's still not 100% accurate with things, which makes it really, really hard. Hey, Huss, how are you? Welcome back. Sorry, guys. I have not been consistent with these after hours, and I apologize. So there's that side of it. Then there's the side of the recovery, right? Like we don't have money to give back to anybody right now. So how do we do that? Well, right now we have a few people that have put some money in, who have earned some money. We've earned, I think, $600 that we're paying back to these people that put money in under a month or around a month. So we're earning them back their money, and 50% of that then goes into our recovery fund, which, as you can imagine, at $600 right now as part of the recovery fund that we've earned for the recovery fund, $600 for the people that put money in, their 50%, and $600 from the earnings that they've earned, the other half of the earnings that they've earned. That 50% is going to take a while to build up before we have 1 point whatever million that we need, which I believe is what will get everybody whole, as far as I understand. Again, we really don't even know that. Sorry, just looking at some of the questions, guys, to see if anything's something I need to go through. Funny Toro saying, I'm assuming there's no money coming back from the original Warfi contract or owners, right? Just earnings from Shiny Jackal. Yes, as it sits right now, that's all we're looking at. Now, that's a good point to digress into for a second. So then there's the fact that pulling mind blanks, and names are always hard when I'm so Nexus is collecting data, still talking with the trader guy that was, I'm not going to get into every nitty gritty detail of Warfi, but there was Jason, which we all know, and his docs and all that stuff. Then there was a trader, Jason, somehow decided he thought he'd trust to magically make us money when we were already making money using Shiny Jackal. Shiny Jackal did need to step back. Again, we can go through all of that. It really matters not. I'm trying to get our status as to where we are right now. So Nexus is trying to get information from them. He is still in talks with them, but unfortunately they're going through their own life problems. My issue with that is we're all going through life problems, and some of us in Warfi are going through financial life problems that are not very good, because they put in more than they could afford to lose, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, I don't really cry too much of a violin for these other guys, but there is still options, I guess, there where we might get money, but I don't want to assume that. So right now we're trying to play with what we have to work with. So yes, right now, no, we have no money. So we're just letting Shiny work with it and hopefully getting some money back for that. And that leads us into the other part, is the recovery. So we've gotten a group of people who have put in money of their own, and now they're earning on their money as well as helping us grow a recovery fund. So the more people that can put money into the recovery fund and still earn is very, very helpful. So what I find a lot of people are losing sight of is the right now in the Discord, our focus really needs to be on whoever has funds to put in. This is a really good way to earn and give back and hopefully help you get your money back. And what I think people are a little bit nearsighted on is they're looking at crypto, they're looking at project, and they're looking at things like, well, I can put my money over here and maybe make more money. Maybe, or you could lose it. So I think people need to realize that compared to the S&P 500 or investing in a lot of the other things, Shiny Jackal has a tried, tested, and true program that works really well and sometimes gives double-digit returns in a month during the bull market, which hopefully we're leading into at some point soon. So if people who, and I don't want people outside of Warfi trying to help, I mean, obviously that would be great. I don't think that should be a focus for them. So people outside of Warfi, I'm not really speaking to you guys right now, and I apologize for monopolizing some of the time at our after hours, but so, and I'll get to you, Quill, in a second. So right now, the focus really should be is if anybody has extra dollars that are part of the Warfi recovery and want to help recover your funds, I think you have to look at an opportunity here in that you'll be earning 50% on your money, which is probably still better than the S&P 500, than NASDAQ, than investing in retail markets, even if you're only earning 50% of the rewards. And on top of that, the other 50% goes towards you earning back the money you put into Warfi. So if you were a big investor in WarFi, I think you should be even more incentivized to hopefully help out getting into this recovery fund and helping everything go back. So that's another thing that I wanted to make sure I talked about. Quill would also like to ask about putting in a ticket. Right now it's full, so just want to check if there's any other way to. No, and there's no rush to this. And sorry, we did start with this, Quill, and you might have come in a few seconds late. The tickets don't matter right now. There is no rush for us to collect data to find out how much and who we need to pay back until we start earning money. So I definitely put a kibosh on that. And like Funny Churro said earlier in the chat, there's a chance that maybe we should maybe do a Google Sheet to kind of free up the tickets, so the tickets can be there for people that maybe want to have a real private conversation or something. And I'm not opposed to that idea, and I'll look at it and we'll maybe see if that can work to collect what we need. But again, most people don't know what to collect or how to collect it. So maybe I do a video showing people what I'm doing, and then people can go through and find their own information and hopefully help me get through this data a lot quicker. So so the recovery fund, so thank you, Tora, that's a good spot to go to next. And no problem, Quill, thank you. Hey, History Bear, how are you? So for the recovery fund, really all we're doing is giving, so we are entrusting Shiny Jackal. So there is that little caveat there. Shiny Jackal has never been holding funds during all of his trading. He's always put the funds have always been through API keys that he has not had access to the funds. He's only had access to using the funds to trade with. So we do have that caveat of trust that we have to put and instill into Shiny, that he's doing the right thing there and doing that. He is showing the trades live in the Discord, and he has been for a while now. And like I said, the money that he's earning, he's giving back 50% of those earnings to me, and I am then airdropping them to the people that put into the recovery fund. So anybody that wants to do that, you should DM Shiny Jackal right now, because the tickets are full. If we fix the tickets, maybe that would be another good source and use of the tickets. But for now, you can DM Shiny. I don't think he's getting overwhelmed with people putting in to the recovery fund, so it's really not that big a deal for that. So any other questions on WarFi? As for, like I said, the people involved, Jason, and like, I don't think any of the mods were involved as best as we can tell. Obviously, we're not here, and none of what I'm talking about right now, and none of what I will talk about in the foreseeable future is about trying to attack those guys. We've seen every project under the sun try and go to lawyers, try and do all this stuff. It never gets anywhere. So really what we're focused on is seeing if we can do something different than what's happened already all over DeFi, and see if we can kind of earn a recovery fund back and somehow get people back their money. If it works, it'll be a hell of a comeback story. If it doesn't work, we're no better off than we were already. I mean, there's funds there. Your funds that you put into the recovery are 100% yours. You keep those funds. And all we're doing is using the earnings from those funds to half pay you and give you some rewards for being generous and helping us with the recovery fund, and half to help build the recovery fund. I think I kind of just answered this, Stephen. So anybody that puts funds into the recovery, who are not involved in the recovery. Yes. So, and this is another big question, and we've answered it in the Discord, and I don't really understand the lack of realization of this. We're not going to go through all these efforts if we're only going to pay back people that are putting in money for the recovery. We're not going to pigeonhole only the people that help with that. Obviously, we'd like everybody to help with it, but we understand that some people can't. Some people put in their life savings and have not even a pot to piss in, for crying out loud, which sucks. And I hate the fact that people are going through that kind of turmoil. But the whole point of this recovery fund is to recover people their original funds. So no, so, and to try and simplify this, and again, I already mentioned this, but I'm just going to mention it, hopefully be clear. There is funds being put into a recovery fund. 50% of those earnings go back to the person that put those funds up, because they deserve something for their money sitting there, not being able to perform for them. Well, it is. So they get 50% of the rewards as their money back for what they're doing. And then 50% goes into a separate fund that is going to keep growing. And that fund will grow to the point that we can pay everybody back, hopefully, their initial funds they put in. So again, I don't have a crystal ball, so I don't know when these funds will accumulate. But basically, $600 so far, which is nothing, but it's something, has been accumulated so far, and that's been put in the recovery fund. Then next month there'll be another whatever amount that gets generated by the bots. Half of that amount will go into the recovery fund and keep growing. It's at $600 because we've only had that one payout, right? So we've only had that one $1,200 payout from the bot's earnings, and 600 went to the recovery fund, and $600 went to the back to the investors who put in the money to help the recovery fund grow. Hopefully that makes sense. So for pitching in for the recovery fund, you do that through Shiny Jackal. So DM Shiny Jackal, and he'll give you a wallet address to send the money to. He then puts it into his Bybit account. He trades it, and then 50%, and then the 100% of the earnings come out. 50% go to the person that put the money in for the recovery fund. So in this case, you potentially, and 50% goes back into the recovery pool for the entire WarFi recovery funds. Total being, I think, I don't know the amount, to be honest with you. That's Shiny's got that, so you can probably ask in the Discord. He might be able to divulge that. I presume he could. So no problem. Got to buy in unless you were a WarFi guy. You haven't missed anything useful for you. If you were in WarFi, then go back and listen. No problem, George. Hopefully that answers everything. I don't want to spend the entire time talking about WarFi, but I can say we're at about the 15-minute mark, so we kind of went through a bunch of stuff. I'm happy to do this at the start of this. We do this usually weekly. We've been really horrible at it. I apologize. Anyways, we've got it's more than 4K. If you're talking about the recovery fund that's been built from other people's money. At least I think it is anyways. Because I think even Warhaven put in money. I think that contributes to more than that. But I could be wrong. So yeah, so that's kind of that in a nutshell. I'm gonna go take a look. I've been looking at my trade. I love being able to just set it and forget it. Okay, what you're in for, and I appreciate it. That's what you're in. Well, again, that's kind of getting out of context. We don't need to go into individual people. I don't know if you put in that for the recovery or you put in that for what you've lost in WarFi. But I'm not. There's no point in going into individuals situations. If there is any other random questions that come up, please let me know. So $600 so far to recovery, and the plan is to keep stacking it until it recovered. Then you will make exactly. Yeah, exactly. And yes, theoretically, this could be yours to start with, but the thing is, this could also compound quite quickly. If we get more people, if we get VCs that both, I've talked to a few people, some big people in the space, and some people are interested, but I still haven't gotten money into the pot, right? And I know Shiny's also looking into people, but I think some of them would be more enticed to bring some large dollars in if they see the community putting in money. And on top of that, I know that he had some VCs that were looking more for November, December to put money in. So hopefully we're going to see some of that. But like you say, it's a start. Like we can't go from zero to hero in no time. It's going to take time, but it definitely can compound and create, like, yeah, it might look like a daunting task right now. Trust me, it looks like a super daunting task. But in the future, it will get better and better. I don't think we're going to see anything from Jason. James has talked about possibly being able to, but keep in mind, like, we're all going through, and I know everybody thinks James is some rich dude, and I'm not going to sit there and get on some rant on James, but he's lost a lot of money just like all of us in crypto shit, and he's doing a lot of work right now in the background with some apps that he's trying to help other people develop and create income sources. He's trying to create income sources for himself again. He's got to rebuild just like the rest of us. And when you think about it, somebody who's put in as much money as he's put in, he's been hit hard. Yes, a different hard to the way I've been hit. Like I had, I think I'm going to say 10K in WarFi, something around that line, which is a lot, a really lot for me. But he had 60,000. I'm going to say 60,000. I think he's announced this. I think this is public knowledge. He had 60,000 in Kirk, which hasn't gone anywhere right now, and is locked up somewhere. Right. So we're apples and oranges, but still, he has already said that he would like to put some money into that. So hopefully we can definitely look at that at some point. And if he's open to it, I'd love to advertise that, because again, it helps us bring. And for myself, I'm trading right now, and some of my trading dollars, as I earn money, obviously I have to provide for the family, but then I'll be putting some into the WarFi recovery if I start earning trading, which is doing well, but I'm still learning and I'm still taking steps back as well as taking steps forward. So, so it's going to be a bit for me to get to that. So I'd like to move on topics, but as I said, we try and do this weekly or bi-weekly. I'm happy to have this a conversation at the start of all these to keep everybody updated, because it's far easier than repeating myself 100 times in the Discord or in DMs. DMs are also really hard, guys. People are DMing me. I'm sure they're DMing Shiny and Nexus. And it's like we're repeating ourselves. And half the times it's stuff that's in an announcement that we just made the day before. So it's really difficult to keep up on it all and still try and do our day-to-day to try and earn money for ourselves, for our family, and hopefully that I can put into the recovery, for lack of a better term. So just keep that in mind, guys. And yeah, so most of this, and for those of you that are new to this, this is a blockchain after hours. I didn't really get into that. This is something Hidden and I started, it's
over a year ago now.
A year ago now, maybe. Was it in the new year though that we started? Like, was it January, February, or did we start it over a year ago? Like around a year ago now. I can't remember.
I think it's around a year.
Yeah, okay, maybe. So we've been, and I guess I can go back to the videos and look, but so yeah, we really just kind of shoot the shit. Obviously it was more entertaining when we were in a bull run, or when we were at even the tail end of the bull run. Over the summer, it was hard for us to do it as consistently as we'd like, because we were busy and whatever. And it's evolved. Obviously we're not really talking too many projects because there's really none out there. Hopefully we're going to see a bull run start again and we'll see some projects, but I'm kind of happy and not happy to see that happen. Yeah, I guess it has to be more than a year, come to think of it, because we're at 63 and we haven't done them every week. And there's 52 weeks in the year. So probably almost 2 years now, coming up in like January, February, March, somewhere in there. Somewhere in there, I think we started.
Interesting.
Wild. Good call. So yeah, good call, guys. Math nerd. So we've kind of evolved. Like now we're so me and actually even Hidden, you've done some trading now, and you're coming into some of the future stuff that I'm doing, and we're having some fun with that. So hopefully we'll have some more cool stuff to talk about as time goes on with that. Some of our trading stuff that we talk about, especially the stuff I talk about and possibly Hidden, will be, there's a little bit of a wall behind some of it, because some of the indicators I use and some of the methods that I use, I won't be able to tell you how the data is collected and where it's coming from, because it's in a trading group that I'm involved in. But hopefully there'll be more openings as time goes on for you to get into that. That's right too. We started it back when Alchemy.
That's right. Yep.
Good and bad memories there, I guess.
I remember OPT.
Yeah, exactly.
That disaster.
Yeah. Anyone here hit by? Yeah, I didn't get into that one. So, and this is the other thing, like a lot of people, and I'm mentioning James quickly just because James has obviously had videos on a lot of these projects, but there's a lot of projects he didn't have videos on that failed too. And a lot of people blame him for all the other these ones, but it's like, guys, we all got into a shit ton of failed projects because this space has been, I mean, really, what do we know that's still around? Nugget Fund. I'm saying that first because I'm on the team, so I'm kind of biased. Flex, which we've talked about here, and this has been a theme for our show for a period of time after Alchemy, after all that stuff. Flex became a big part of this show. And Monstros is still around and kicking. Yeah. I mean, what else is there? There's not a Upfront was one that I have some funds in that is still kicking and doing well. They kind of just their chain link, I believe, is what they are. So they do a lot of developing and stuff. So they've been quite good. So I mean, there's not a lot that's hung around other than your dexes, your liquidity farming, and that's where you and I have talked a lot is like learn a skill, learn to trade, learn to liquidity farm. These are the things that are going to add value in the space and going to put you leaps ahead of everybody else. But they take time, they take effort, they take knowledge. So, and yeah, actually, and I should go check my account there because I did get some referrals from people when I had them on for an AMA, but I've never looked at it, to be honest with you. And I probably means I have access to it, but they've closed down shop, I believe, to new users. And yeah, they're still around, which is great. So yeah, thanks guys, for bringing me down memory road. A few things. How are you? You didn't get a chance to say much of anything, Hiddens, but
it's all right. Got old news to take care of. Well,
what's
that? /new news. No, I was just saying you had some old /new news.
Yes. Sorry, yes. I wanted to give them a platform because it's hard to get it all out in different places. So I'm in a trade right now, which is in drawdown, but that's okay.
Yeah. Speaking of Alchemy, once FlexDex does actually launch, word has it that our friend and creator of one of the best trade-in bots is going to be unleashed again. This time with a rather large budget and extra dev help.
Nice.
So I am actually looking really forward to seeing what he can pull out of the hat when he gets the time and money to do so.
Nice. And Gio just mentioned NeoMaspy, and I shouldn't have forgotten them because they're actually a partner with Nugget as well. We've done some great things with them, and they've done very well for somebody that's been around for as long as they have. And a really neat project. If you haven't looked into them, I've had them on for a few AMAs. So, and then EMP is still standing, and AJ is still a great guy. We chat still from time to time, quite often, which has been good. So, nice history. I think we talked a little bit about that. So that's a good job. Do you want to get into this at all? I guess it's going in a good movement.
Yeah, I mean, we have we pulled the liquidity. We asked the community what they wanted to do. So we pulled the liquidity, put all of that into the FlexPam bot. The first month, it was like, what, 12%?
Yeah.
So we ended up getting $400 on that. And we're looking at another, I want to say like 10% so far this month.
We're halfway through, which is amazing.
Yeah, and so what I'm going to do shortly here, probably another month or two, once we get some more funds, is start going through and seeing where everybody's at and start paying people back.
Nice.
Once we get everybody whole, we can do another vote and see if we want to keep the money in the PAM and just kind of morph that into another.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. It wouldn't be too bad. It might even actually help build a good base for what you were trying to do with PrintArb and let it happen in a positive way, because it was tough. Timing was tough. Everything was tough with how that started. And that's a very small TBL. There's nothing crazy in there, so it's not like a lot of people affected by it. But it is something that was tried and unfortunately just didn't work out. But this might be the same grace because nobody can put very much more into what he's doing right now with the trading. And so
I believe it's closed, actually.
It is closed. Sorry, that's what I mean. Like, and you can't even compound right now. So it's a neat way for people that didn't get in that are in PrintArb that can benefit from that. So to me, I agree. I don't think pulling out of it is going to be beneficial at all. So yeah, neat. Yeah, we've all been burnt down. No kidding.
Very true.
Pinex trading bot is going well. I don't know that one.
Oh yeah. Have you not seen the thousands of messages in Telegram?
No, probably not.
Oh boy, you have fun going through that.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say there's a handful, actually more than a handful. There's like what 45, 50 of us doing it. Just messing around with the grid bots on PineX again since we had this mini bull, as I'm calling it.
Nice. And Marcel, sorry, thank you. And I did mention Nugget as part of that was the first one I mentioned, but it did evolve from hybrid. So Marcelo's been around for with Nugget with hybrid, and then turned into Nugget, and we've kind of moved hybrid because I partnered up with Marcelo with hybrid, and then we created Nugget together with some other people and moved it all over. So and Nugget's doing very well right now. We've had a nice, the team has really done a great job of managing the movements in the market, which is what we've always wanted from all these projects, right? To adapt to changes, to find ways to keep the earnings going, or at least keep them stable for a period of time when we're in downs. And so they've really done a great job. So I appreciate everything the rest of the team is doing to help keep us that way. And we've still got some rabbits in our hat to pull out later on, and we got, I think it's gonna be a really fun year with them. So if you guys haven't already, my quick little plug is the links down below for the Discord in the description, as well as for Flex too, because those are probably our two biggest backers that Hidden and I are very passionate about, other than learning to trade and all this other stuff. Damn it. Well, will NASDAQ start going up? It keeps friggin' ranging. But anyways, I was just for Funny Turo. Nugget and Flex. Woo woo. Thank you, Funny Turo. Yeah, get ready for Thursday. That's when we drop our next earnings report. Backwin was fortunate with to 6x with Gamma Swap, just sold half and used the proceeds to buy into 2 projects. Cool. It's a nice little diversification.
What projects?
Exactly.
Let's dive down that rabbit hole, huh?
Yeah, and now that since we're mentioning project, I will be having Timply. So they have a node project, which is pretty neat. I've done a video on them, but I'm actually having them on for a live AMA on Thursday. Nugget actually has a couple of their nodes. They're neat because they're basically creating the Google, but a decentralized version of Google, the search engine. So they're creating the database that can get accessed with all the information, so that people can Google search, as opposed to Google searching. You'd search through this project and allow you to get all the data points. And it's not gatekept like Google is. Google is a lot of paid people help manipulate what information gets fed to you when you do Google searches. There's a ton of manipulation that Google does, as I'm sure most of you are aware, to gatekeep information and make sure you get what they want you to see as information when you do searches. It's a sad but true situation that's manipulated government elections, that's manipulated all kinds of things, and helped right-wing people become extreme right-wing people, and helped left-wing people become extreme left-wing people. It's really sad how manipulated the data is to help create what they want to create, or create the extremists to help. Anyways, that's a soapbox that can go on for way too long, so I'll stop there. So Timply is a neat little node project. Anyways, they're coming on the channel. I think it's 1 o'clock. Sorry, let me double check the time. Talk amongst yourselves. But they're coming on for an AMA, which I haven't done an AMA in a while, so I'm looking forward to that. And it is Thursday. Yes, at 11 o'clock Eastern. So if you're able to be around for that, that would be fantastic. Otherwise, you can watch the recording, of course. So yeah, back for fun times. Just looking through the messages, guys. Exactly. And again, this is the other cool thing, and you guys don't get to see this in Nugget, is there's a lot happening in the background constantly. There's lots of conversations amongst the team. It's not just one person kind of running the project by themselves. So there's always been some fun stuff happening, always been some discussions in the background, and so hopefully a lot of that will be coming out again and again. I'm glad I got into hybrid and moved to Nugget. I've seen a lot of good from that project. Yes, thank you guys. Just gone through 2 years. However, this seems to be slowly widening. Yeah, so Bruno X is still around, Paul. That's amazing. And that one was one of those ones that I thought was a Ponzi. I never got into. And yeah, it's just kind of done its thing.
I never even heard of it.
Yeah, there was a few influencers that went through it, and it was just one of those daily rewards things that I never got into. And back when I heard about it, it was like already been 6 months or whatever running. And I'm like, oh, that's not going to touch that. And I did hear that it was still kind of going here and there. Oh, you're going to get me down all those ones. So Creative Wealth is done. We update that in the Discord, right? That one's totally private. There's really nothing to go into there. PureFX is kind of the same thing. And Vaultec. All three of those are going through the same, but to be honest with you, actually, when I describe what I'm doing with what we're doing with Vaultec, it's basically the same thing with all three. There's funds that ended up in PFX that we have slowly, like with everything, been rugged after rugged after rugged. There are some funds, though, still left that are in Nugget. I'm trying to double down in Nugget with almost all of the funds because I can't put anything into PFX or into Flex. So, and there is some actually in the Flex copy bot too. So there's some in the bot, there's some in Flex, and there's some in Nugget. And basically, I'm trying to compound it all in there, almost like what Warfi's trying to do with Shiny. But the good thing is our compounding is further along because we had some funds to work with, and we're not asking for any funds from anybody. So this is still taking time, but as we compound into it and as it gets enough, I'll pay out Nugget to people is what my goal is. and Nugget will take over the portfolio. So that's kind of what I'm the long and the short of what I'm trying to do with it, to kind of save all those ones and get everybody at least ROI'd, and then you can choose what you want to do from there. Because the nice thing with Nugget is you can sell it over the counter, you can keep reaping the rewards and just stake it. It's really kind of up to you at that point. So that's kind of a quick synopsis on there. Silo Finance and Contango. I think Contango, you probably brought it up. I don't remember Silo Finance, but I know Blackhawk and said Contango a couple of times. But
oh yeah,
and gotta buy in. Thanks you for your update.
No other problem. One thing that is, actually, I don't want to say the only thing, but one of the only things that seems to be going well. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
So
nice. So we got through all that stuff. Anything else you guys are looking forward to? Anything else you guys are interested in? Obviously, yeah, and I think Funny Tour actually mentioned earlier was Bitcoin. Obviously, we've had a nice little run over the last little bit. I didn't see where it's at right now. And the problem is my app always puts it in Canadian dollars, so it means nothing to you Americans, but the cool thing about Canadian dollars is it's at 121,000. So it looks a lot cooler on Canadian dollars, even though it means less. And it broke the 100K mark like a month and a bit ago, which you guys have not experienced really yet, I don't think. Hey, what's it at? 90? Is it? Or
I don't even know at the moment.
Terrible. How dare you?
87,356.
87, yeah. So it's like, yeah, quite a big difference, but so yeah, so it's pretty cool. Sounds good. Too many Discord. Too many Discord. Yeah, I get you. Funny. I totally get it. And I don't mind being asked. But as I say, the nice thing about those three is I can kind of answer them in one. So if you ever want to ask again, just ask Vaultec and I'll know you mean all three. So yeah. You mentioned BTC5. So anybody that's new here, that's hanging around with us, which I do appreciate. We don't have a huge group because we haven't been as consistent, but is Blackhawk and always comes out with a whole bunch of different projects that we've never heard of that we get to look into and take a peek at. Interested in BTC Finance you've talked about before, upgrading. So Go Mining, I do like what they're doing. The problem is I'm not sure I agree with the gamification, but I guess it's a fun way to keep people engaged with what they're doing. Basically, it's mining and it's an app that you can do stuff in to earn more, and then you basically buy terahashes. So you buy, instead of buying a miner, you buy a portion of something and you just get rewards based on that. So it simplifies it a bit for the person that doesn't know how to do it and how it works.
Is it real?
As far as I know, so they've been on James Pelton's channel. They've been on a few different channels. I actually do talk to one of the I'm assuming the marketing guy, quite a bit. It does seem to be, they've got a massive operation. I don't even think it seems to be. I think you can actually, and I have not, so I apologize for being greenish, but I think you can actually research the company, and the company's fairly large. So I don't think it's not a project, quote unquote. Yeah, so less risk, but it's very simplified. You're buying terahash basically, so you put in $100, you get whatever, your penny a day kind of thing. Like you're not earning a ton off of it, but if Bitcoin keeps going, you can earn quite a bit. So once my Pinex BTC and UDT, you're buying the bot. Yeah, the Pinex bot. I should go look into that, but I have no time. I have no time for looking into stuff. Trading really is my passion right now, and that's where I can, to be honest with you, the trading is what can earn me. If I it earned me really good money for a tiny bit, and then I made mistakes. But if I get disciplined again and get my accounts back up, it's something that can scale pretty astronomically, which is amazing. So I'm still in this trade, waiting for it to get back to profit again. But I was in profit for a minute, but I still have lots of room. Not quite halfway to draw down. How have you been doing? So have you been enjoying? I know we talked quite a bit with the trading stuff that you're getting into. But you've kind of joined are you divulging that? I don't know if you want to talk about it at all, but
I don't know how much about it I really can talk about.
Well,
with it being behind the paywall,
Well, so there's nothing really you can talk about at all. It's just the thing is that they don't have access to the stuff that they kind of need to really make it. So that's why I've showed it up. I'll even show this screen. So I'm in a trade right now. It uses something called the boomerang indicator. Chrome tab. Where is my, no, I don't want that. Wow, they changed everything here. Sorry, it takes me a second to. So this is a trade that I'm in. I did it a little differently than I normally do. What this trade has normally been is you, and I can't, it's hard to show it all. So your entry, is there a red? Oh, that's the midnight. Sorry, let me turn off some of this. Turn off. Well, I guess I'll keep that. So this line, so there's a few different things going on here. I'm not trying to make this sound super confusing, but this here is the open of this candle. And this candle is when, if you notice the time on my chart, at 16:59, the futures closes for an hour. And then at 18 o'clock, 1800, it opens back up. 18 o'clock, what the hell? 1800, it opens back up. And when it opens up, oftentimes it jumps and gaps either up or down. And oftentimes, statistically speaking, it will reach back up for this line. And so this other part that we put in here is called the boomerang, and it's basically creating a range, which once it breaks out of this range, it often again comes back into that range. The strike rate's about 64%, so pretty decent. But rather than taking the entry here, I've waited until I had a bearish distribution, which is what this guy does. And again, you don't have access to these unless you're behind the paywall, or not the paywall, but in the group. I'm only looking for profit of probably here, unless the trade starts going towards here. I might move my stop loss to break even and move my take profit above over here. If I'm up to manage the trade. If I'm not, I'll just take my little 10 points here and get out at this point. But the idea is that it should break towards this area is what the idea of this trade is, without going too crazy into drawdown. Like for instance, even this line, in the last 17 sessions, it's come to this line 29% of the time. So I'm even gambling, quote unquote, not really gambling, that it will not go this deep into drawdown. So right now, like I said, I'm down a little bit. I didn't put a ton of money into this. I think I'm down like $200, $300 tops right now in the trade. But the idea is that hopefully it will start creeping up towards this line and tap here at some point into the evening. So it's just some neat stuff. It's very data driven. We do a lot of analysis based on how often it hits. Like you can see these ones here even have a better strike rate, but they've gone against us quite a bit. I haven't been doing the silver and gold just because I find it a little bit, it's been a little bit of a funny market right now, especially since the elections. You're seeing a lot of stuff pump when it usually would range. And so that's why I'm being a little more cautious and not trading certain things right now. But we had a good day today. A lot of great trades today.
That we did.
And stuff. So just some stuff. And today we had some things here that just did, and you actually just added this guy. This is a neat indicator, the one that makes these little boxes here, but too many things on the chart.
Oh yeah, my chart looks like a freaking Christmas tree right now.
Usually it's not this bad, but I've got a few too many things here. This is another really cool one that we have that kind of tells us the direction that we expect the things to go. And then based on that direction, we'll take trades towards or away from that guy. And this did really well for both you and I today, where we traded our accounts using these indicators. So I'm not going to get into crazy detail about it all, but it's a lot of fun. If my problem with trading is I've been part of a bunch of different groups, and a lot of the groups, oftentimes I just found there was inconsistencies. They were tooting like they did so well on things, but then I couldn't replicate what they were doing. And it really means nothing. If you can't do what they're doing, you can't replicate the trades they're making and make the money they're making, then you're paying money for something that doesn't speak to you or doesn't give you what you need. So with this group, with Austin Clark's group and the pack trading group, we've got a lot of like-minded people who are trading with data, with numbers, and we've evolved over the last year and a half to something pretty special, in my opinion, that is helping us all get some pretty decent earnings over time. So, and I think I turned off the guys. Okay, there. So anyways, something, if anybody's ever interested, you can always reach out to me in my Discord, which is linked down below. And I'm happy to there's Monday free sessions, which Austin still is going to be doing, where you can see exactly what we're doing here, live with him trading it. And that's always a lot of fun. And if you find that the ideas and the principles and how we're trading speaks to you, then let me know. And there's a link where you can join through WAP. We don't let everybody in right now. It's closed up, but there will be people that might leave. And in turn, we might invite people in to kind of backfill it, but we're not looking for thousands of investors. This is not some ICT sales pitch or anything like that. It's just, if this idea speaks to you, then I do urge you to give it a whirl. But yeah, it's there. Yeah, you'll feel so I have been talking to what's the guy's name with the beard? History Bear, you probably know. I was talking to him, and I think I might try and have him on the channel. I keep forgetting to reach out to him just to go through it. I've got a few different groups. There's Mike D, who I had on the channel a couple times, and who has a group that does yield farming trading. There's obviously the Underdog Investor Group, which is a great group of people that do more than just yield farming, but they definitely focus on that as a big thing. And then, yeah, Aaron, thank you. So we've been chatting a little bit, and I might try and have him on to kind of give a third option for people, because everybody has a different way they want to learn things. And I know not every teacher is right for every person. So depending on how you learn and how you digest information, any of these three different venues could be really good for you. And some of them, I think Aaron even has a passive NFT type option if that's how you want to yield farm and you just don't want to think about it. So are we keeping you up there?
No, I apologize.
You're going to make me yawn in a second, so I'll apologize in a moment. And look at that, we're going up. Let's go. Come on. Yeah, Aaron is his name. Thank you for that. And you've only been, I guess, a week or so. Are you finding some value in it? Or are you liking what you're learning and how it's being taught, kind of stuff?
One thing I will say is I wish I had more time to get in when they're doing the lives.
True.
What I do like is that everything is recorded and put into one main spot. So if you miss something and it's something that kind of piqued your interest, you can always go back and watch it again. But I feel like I've been doing all right with it. I mean, the first week was election week, and that really just kind of screwed everything up, and I lost 2 accounts. But
yes, and that, I mean, and you knew that going into that too, though, right? Yeah. You knew the risks that you were getting into, and that was probably not. But the good thing is, you probably learned a lot more than somebody jumping in during a banger week where they're seeing nothing but wins, and then probably get overconfident and then screw up their next week. You had the benefit of kind of getting out of the gates with a little bit of trials and tribulations. We'll go with that route, right?
Yes. Yeah. One thing we learned is we're going with smaller lots and DCAing and
exactly. So a few different things, different ways of doing it, and back testing, like going through stuff and getting the confidence built up and all that jazz. Sorry, just going back and forth. History Bear's putting some stuff, obviously, about liquidity farming. I have been in them since June. I've set up several farms for myself and a few other people. Nice. Yeah, liquidity farming is another great way. Liquidity farming and trading will be my 2 go-tos when it comes to skills. I think many of us who are in this space early should know. And I know trading is not really part of crypto or this space, quote unquote, but it is in a sense, in the sense that you can trade Bitcoin, you can trade all the different tokens that are in this space. I don't choose to trade them. I'm futures only. I probably will remain futures only. Even CFDs and Forex I don't do anymore, just because I find so much more value and peace with the charts when I'm trading this type of stuff. So and hopefully we'll get lucky. We're here for maybe another 10 minutes. Maybe we'll get lucky and this trade will head off to the promised land for me. So yeah, and I don't care. Like if this hits stop loss, I don't care. I'm okay with that. I'm at peace with it because I know what I'm doing, and I know that have faith in the trade, and I know I didn't start the trade way up here where I would have been already potentially, like if this is my stop loss. So I wouldn't have hit it yet, actually, even if I got in there, but I'd be sitting a lot heavier in drawdown, right? So, and almost have tapped it there. I have room that I could extend that, but I'm not going to, because that's not what I want to do anymore. That's screwed me too much.
We've learned.
Yeah, exactly. The hard way.
Yeah.
But no, this is what I've allotted to my risk for this trade, and I'm going to see what happens. And And like I said, if things start going my direction before the end of the night, before I head to bed, I might even extend this, and it can be a decent trade that'll have some nice earnings there. But for now, I'm just going to go for that. So yeah. Any other questions, comments, concerns, anything you guys are excited about? I know Blackhawk, you always have something to throw in there, but maybe let's see if anybody else does. I appreciate you, Black. If there's anything you guys want to see, I say this on a lot of ours, and since this is the first one in a little while, if anybody has anything they want to see out of this, if they want us to research some stuff before we go live on Tuesday night, usually at 9 o'clock, then let us know, again, in my Discord, or you can DM me or Hidden. We just want this to add value and hopefully bring some opportunities for people to learn or to grow or to whatever it is. I'll keep doing, as I have trades that are live, I'll always show them live so you can see them at play. And again, if it entices you to learn the way that that me and Hidden now are learning to trade, then again, reach out, and I'm happy to go through some of the details. And like I said, the best way is probably the Monday free sessions, just to learn and see if it's right for you. I know, like I said, I've looked at a bunch of different things, a bunch of different groups, and there's nothing really that's kind of I've called home until this one. So I don't see any comments, guys. If anybody wants, I'll post, if this trade wins or loses, I'll post it in my Discord, like I did last time a few weeks ago when we did this. I think the last one was a loss, but that was a trade I found the range while we were live one time, got a win the first time and a loss the second time. I haven't really been trading it much, but that one. But this one here, I've traded this before, so I'm comfortable with it and excited to see it hopefully head in the right direction as it's doing. Anything from you, Hidden? Anything from Flex otherwise? I mean, I guess the DEX is now getting really close, eh?
Yep. We're a couple weeks out from our FLP surge, which if you haven't gotten in or you have some spare money laying around, I suggest saving and putting it into that. That's what I'm trying to do. Let's see what else. Toby. I'm not sure if anybody here is in Toby as well. But that's really starting to take off in some unexpected ways.
I think I have some Toby. That's on base, eh?
Yep. So the interesting part is it's like a whole ecosystem being developed by a guy nobody knows who it actually is. And so he did a mint on Zora, which is a really fucking weird platform. And for 35 cents per NFT. And then 24 hours later, he released the token called Toboshi with like 187,000 maximum supply. And that skyrocketed from 35 cents to almost $9.
Nice. Jeez.
So, yeah, it was very interesting to say the least.
No kidding. Good choice, Funny Turtle, and thank you for doing that. So Gold Rush, if anybody doesn't know, so in Nugget, we actually created for some fun, because nobody was really putting any money in a Nugget, because we were kind of at a stalemate for a little while. Like, we were still earning every week, but I mean, unfortunately, the market was the market, right? And we knew that the bull was coming and that something would happen, and we'd probably see some pumps in the market. So a couple of weeks ago, we started, Lazy Dog, one of our founders, started had the idea of doing this Gold Rush. So basically, it's just a degen play where we all put in $200 and we all pick a token that we want, that we think might kind of hit gold. And so it's been kind of a neat little fun thing to do. We've got about, I don't even know, but 17, 20 tokens or whatever that we've all picked, and that we all have a piece of, and we'll all earn equally based on whatever any of them do. So if one moonshots, we all kind of split the benefits. If one tanks, then we let it go. So it's just some good little fun. And looks like Toby is one of our chosen tokens. So that's cool. Thank you.
Thanks.
History Bear says, I may get into that. Yeah, I really love trading. And I do agree with you, History. If I had done it a different way, liquidity farming might have been the better way to start, because it's a little bit of a smaller learning curve. The difference, I guess, is the rewards for trading. If you're able to use prop firms that are legit, we have some that are very legit that work quite well. If you're able to use prop firms, your risk reward can be quite higher with trading, but the learning curve / the potential earnings with just cash you have on hand can be quite nice. My issue is I had limited cash on hand, so trading was a great way for me to kind of hopefully create cash from very limited amounts of funds. But it's not without trials and tribulation. It took me probably a year to get green. Now I wasn't spending a lot of money. It's not like I took $10,000 and invested into trading. I was spending $150 a month on a prop firm, and then a little bit for the trading company that I was with Austin's group or whatever. So it really wasn't a massive outlay. And I'm now green on all those expenses. I can take every expense, and I've paid it all off since day one from learning to trade. And I've made a little bit of money. And now once I compound that and get that working for myself, it could be a really nice, good ongoing earnings. So if anyone's looking for a new hot wallet control /FKX XDeFi is a beta. Interesting. So we're talking like a new MetaMask. I do like Rabby. I've been using Rabby for a while now. Does this have some benefits over Rabby, Blackhawken? I'm almost in profit.
Rabby sucks.
What?
I hate Rabby. Is like the worst UI. Trying to do anything on it was just god awful.
Some of the connections were, but I find it so much easier than MetaMask and less friggin' lost, like failed transactions. But everybody's gonna have their preference. I'm not. I am no. Yeah. Rabby mobile. Well, I haven't tried the mobile version actually. I don't really do a whole lot of stuff on my mobile. It's all done on my PC since I'm working here from home and doing my thing. And we are in my plus. Oh, I'm minus $15 right now. So I'm dope. There we go. Now I'm up. Let's go. This plays out. Anyways, a lot more chains, including Bitcoin. Okay, so it's got Bitcoin. Okay, so it's almost like I think Zelcore has a whole lot of people included on them that are part of different chains that aren't EVM wallets. Swaps, cross-chain swaps, a way to deal with gas that looks like it could be neat. Oh, cool. Maybe worth a little peek. That's the other problem with all this stuff is all the technology is like, and then who's going to actually end up winning the race? There'll be the Amazon, one of the Amazons of the future is whoever wins this race.
It's got to be Coinbase, 100%.
Yeah, I guess because there'll be government manipulation, and they'll buy anybody out later on.
Yeah, getting onto Coinbase early is the best move you can make, in my opinion. Not financial advice, obviously. One question I do have, though, maybe somebody here would know. Does anybody remember Crypto Slim Shady's was a pre-send? Has that actually happened? Or
Crypto Slim Shady? So yes. So actually, I do know what's happened there because I did actually have him on my channel. Crypto Slim Shady. What the hell's his actual name now?
Drew
Wolford. Wolford. So he actually set up an actual entity where people were. So he paid us. I guess from what I understand, people got their money back for their investment or some type of earnings or whatever. And now he's gone to a legal entity where it's actually a legal company, which you can buy shares in through this thing and earn from the stuff they're doing. Wolford Finance. Yeah. Drew Wolford. So he's gone through two things. There's a token for Presend, and there's a token for Wolford Finance, I believe, that you can get into and earn from or whatever. So yeah, he is still around and he's still doing stuff. And he is definitely a hustler.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I had a good chat with him. As much as I say clown, and I don't mean that in the negative sense. He's an entertainer too, right? Like that's what he does. And so he,
it's gonna be a good video when he gets to clown, gets the clown shit out. So
yeah, exactly. So yeah, no, it'd be interesting to see how it all turns out. I do wish him the best. I think he's got, again, some tech and some stuff that he would love to see go out there, and I'd love to see all his investors benefit, right? Like there's really stuff like I hope it all does well. Do I like how he markets? Or it is what it is. Like I don't like putting other people down to try and bring yourself up. But that's just me. I'm an underdog I like helping the underdogs. I'm not about bullying, I guess, in a way. In a way, I wouldn't even go that. Sometimes he does on the Discords, but so yeah. Mental is giving you a shout out. Mental Chaos.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing tonight, my friend?
So we've hit the hour mark. So I'll probably shutter-ish down there. As I said, I will post what happens with this trade. We are kind of basically back to break even, which is nice. We have taken a little bit of heat, but nothing crazy. And as I said, there's a little bit of a draw, kind of a magnet up here where hopefully things will head up there at some point, is my hope. And at some point, if I kind of break this line, I'll probably move my stop loss to break even. It's not normally how I trade, but with these longer ones where I'd like to try to pull a little bit more out of the market, sometimes I'll let that. And I may just, if it passes this mark, I'll definitely pull my stop loss up to here and just guarantee myself that pull. So yeah, but I'll post that in the Discord if anybody wants to see it. The Discord link, if you're not already there, is down below in the description. Come check out Nugget, come check out Flex, come check out Austin Clark's Wolfpack if you want to learn or have any kind of ideas that you'd like to trade. If you decide to join, please let me know. There is a link that I have. It does earn me a little bit, but we're not talking crazy money, but it does help show Austin that I'm helping bring some people to the group. Again, I don't care whether you join or not. Austin doesn't care if you join or not. But if you want to learn, I think it's a great group. We just had a really good session with, actually, if you are hidden, evenings with Quantum when you are free. I know usually we're here, but just before this, Quantum goes live, and I really enjoy having chats with him and going through stuff with him. So
yeah, I'll have to hop on. Knowledge is power.
Exactly.
They can take everything physical away from you, but everything you've learned, they can never take away.
Exactly. Black Hawkins saying, if you had a Rabby wallet, you would see how much you have. Oh my gosh, look at that.
Holy shit.
All right, I'll be moving my stop loss, hopefully right to that point, if it can pump a little bit above that.
That just blew the shit out of about two of my... So I'm not actually trading. I'm back testing, not really back testing, forward testing, I guess would be a better word for it. But I'm following it as it's going along, where I would enter trades, and that just blew through about 2, maybe 3 of my trades that were shorts. 3 of them.
You were looking for shorts on NASDAQ?
Yeah. Those 3 red right there you got.
Oh, okay, that's what you're doing. Yeah. Well, and again, you could have gotten some pretty good profits out of this one.
Those first 2 reds hit perfectly.
Gotcha.
And then I tried getting in the next 2 greens and then the next couple of reds, and it's just not working. Yeah,
no, and to be honest with you, it's too choppy this time of day, so I wouldn't really focus on that. What we do, and what I do anyways, is I find a boomerang range that has a pretty good strike rate, and then I use these as entry points to take me to there. That's what I did with this one, right? As you saw, is I waited through all of this drawdown and didn't, and usually what I would have done is gotten into the trade here, and I would have been sitting here in a lot more drawdown, still not break even on my trade. And so what I've started doing is kind of waiting for the breakout, then waiting for this to help bring me an entry, and then riding it up. And it kind of it gets rid of some of this drawdown, and you're not just, because these aren't really signals per se. It's more just some ability to add confluence to what you're doing. So I haven't moved my stop loss yet, guys. Just so you know, I'm going to leave that play out a little bit because it might range here a bit. But I'm still going to believe in this one and leave it. And then hopefully if it breaks there, I'm going to move it up. So, but yeah, I don't know if I'd worry. I personally, I don't know if I'd use these as ways. I mean, obviously, yes, this one hit, but, and you now have access to these boxes, which are quite handy, I find. So something to play with and add into what you're doing probably would be a good idea. So, whoops. So I'm pulling up Discord. Stop that. Wrong button. I want to go over to here. So yeah, guys, if there's anything else, let us know. And sorry, just checking the chat. Poly market got a good coverage during the election season. Poly market, is that like with Polygon? I know that they've changed to this new poll token and stuff. I don't know if they're going to be able to do as well as they've done in the past, but I hope so. But
no, it's betting system for different things. Somebody bet like $18 million and ended up winning like 46 million off of it or some crazy shit. Yeah.
Must be nice. Betting market. Okay, yeah, gotcha. Wild, crazy. I don't keep up on this stuff. My life right now is trading, and then some of the Discord crap like Warfly and all that stuff where I'm working on trying to do stuff there where I can, and then it's honestly trading and the pack trading group. That's really my focus, and then obviously family and stuff. But I'm looking forward to the space getting a little bit more exciting again. I would like to see some stuff, and obviously Nugget. Sorry, Marcelo, and Nugget Fund as well. Between those things, that's pretty much where my time is spent. And the trading actually is some of it's for Nugget. It's kind of a little bit of our hopefully future sauce if I can get some things going certain ways. So yeah. Anyways, thank you so much, guys. Marcelo's still here. Damn it. What'd you miss? Well, you're going to have to watch MG40. Sorry. But welcome. I haven't seen you in a while, so I appreciate you coming and joining us. I'm just in this trade, which is in profit right now, but coming back down on me, but that's okay. I'm going to leave it go. Let me guess. Pocket trading. Yes, I am trading, but that's not our focus. We did pull it up at the end here and just have a little bit of chat because I want to be, if I am trading while we're live, I do want to show it off live because it's always nice to do that. And yeah, we had a nice pump that almost took us to a potential TP or at least a move of the stop loss. And look at that. It's pumping again. I think it's going to keep going. I do, but we'll see. What else? I guess that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And good night. It's Funny Turo sending us off. Yeah, thanks, guys. And have yourselves all a wonderful rest of your day or evening and week.